Hello dear farmers and to everyone watching this video, welcome back to your favorite farming with the CEO, where we say farming is the way to go. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to click the subscription button and turn on the notification bell so that you cannot miss any of my videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate so much. One of the greatest authors and also an activist by the name Boniface Mwangi said that never tell a young person that it is impossible, and truly by his words. And today I had an opportunity to visit Demo Rabbit Farm. As you can see, it is a registered farm where we are going to learn about rabbit farming, where we'll be going to be educated by one of the upcoming young entrepreneurs. Watu youths to venture into farming inalipa. And I officially introduce you to one of the young farmers that I came across. He is also one of my friends. And I have a joke for you today, by the way. I met this guy in school, and there was a time he was holding a soda bottle. Ilikuwa na maji. Then I asked him, where have you gone? And he told me, I've gone to start a project of aquaculture. Aquaculture, by the way, ni rabbit farming. Tunaongea hiyo mpaka mwisho. Remember to subscribe.
Thank you this morning for visiting me. I am Dennis Mungamogo from Nyeri County, Kataragwa sublocation, Rudhage village. I've ventured into rabbit farming, not as a pet, but commercially, and I'm doing this for a greater tomorrow.
Mr. Munga, can you tell us your initial starting capital and how many rabbits did you start with? Because we are seeing this is a big growing project.
Okay, I started back then in the year 2017. By then, I had just 2,000 to do this, and I had to do it in the traditional way, whereby you would set hatches outside and build some strong structures, but very small. They would hold some few rabbits, okay? So I ventured into it, and I saw these rabbits were growing to be very many, and I decided to make it to a big structure whereby I would hold structures inside a permanent house. I've done this, and as per now, I have 150 those, which are in 1 month time they'll be kindling, and I think I'll have a lot of rabbits.
As we know, in our country situation currently, we have different agricultural activities like dairy farming, pig farming. What inspired you to venture into rabbit farming?
Back then, we know that rabbits were reared by the young boys, and there was this urge for me to rear them, and I had to go against that odd that they are not for old boys, but even you can do them when you're a young man. So I ventured into it for the purpose of getting rabbit meat, for the purpose of getting rabbit urine, for the purpose of getting rabbit fur, rabbit manure, and for the purpose of leather. So I had to do this to acquire those materials from these rabbits.
As you can see behind you, you have a differently designed housing for the rabbits. Can you explain to us about the housing structure, because it is differently structured?
Okay, this is a rabbit structure by the name the hatch. A rabbit structure is called a hatch. So this rabbit structure is designed differently. First, the rabbit stays inside here. As you can see, it's here. So when the rabbits urinate, I get the urine from this iron sheet, and this iron sheet is very special. This is a transparent iron sheet. It cannot get corroded. That's why I opted for this. So I've kept this iron sheet here slanted so that I can acquire rabbit urine from this pipe and down to this storage. After this storage, I keep it for fermentation, and it is ready to use in the farm. So that is why my structure is not structured as the normal structures.
We can see in your housing, the rabbits are housed in a cage, and my question is, how many rabbits should be held in each cage? Is it determined by the size of the cage or what?
So first and foremost, the size of the cage matters. So this cage is 2 meters high, 3 meters wide. So this cage holds 1 rabbit. This rabbit, after it gets pregnant, it can be housed alone. But at normal times during the weaning stage, I can house 2 of them in this rabbit. For the winners, I'm housing either 4 or even 5, mattering with the size of the rabbits. Like these ones. I've housed 4 of them in this cage, and after like 2 to 3 weeks, there will be 2 per cage. Yeah.
As we understand from the talks, I read somewhere in a book saying that rabbit's urine, it is a corrosive agent to metallics. What materials can you suggest one to use during the construction of a cage?
So rabbit urine, at first I can concur with you that rabbit urine is very, very corrosive. It is like human urine. So for this iron sheet, the transparent iron sheet, this one cannot be corroded by urine. So I can advise a farmer to use this kind of iron sheet. The second iron sheet, we can use the aluminium iron sheet. That is with no ridges. The aluminium sheet with no ridges. That one cannot be corroded also.
As we can see that the cages, they are built in a specific site. What are some of the consideration you consider during the construction?
First and foremost, I have to consider the topography of land. The second consideration is about the direction of the prevailing wind, and the direction of the prevailing wind is very necessary, because in this rabbit structure there is the ammonia construction. So if the wind is coming from this side and you are housed from this side, and the wind blows away the ammonia, the bad odor will enter into your house. So you have to consider the direction of the prevailing wind. So that consideration is about the security and about the accessibility and the relation to other kind of structures. Yeah.
Rabbit farming is also another activity of farming. Do you consider cleanliness in your hatches?
Yeah. Hygiene is very important in these hatches. And rabbits are considered to be very wise. They deposit their manure in one corner of the house. So you have to be there to clean up. It is like a toilet in one corner. You have to be there to clean up that urine. So hygiene is very paramount in this rabbit structure. And you have to be there also to clean to prevent wetness, because wetness is a predisposing factor to growth of bacteria and bringing up of diseases. Yeah, so cleanliness is paramount.
I know there is a farmer who was watching this episode and could like to venture into rabbit farming, and maybe he's from different part of the country. Can you tell us about the weather condition? Can the weather condition affect the rabbit farming?
So rabbits, let me say, they are fast adapters to weather changes. So when you bring a rabbit from another zone to this zone, you have to be there for it. But as a matter of fact, the rabbit will have to adapt to the new weather change. So rabbit farming is not much affected by the weather conditions, as I can say. Yeah.
As we know that rabbits are like other animals, what do you feed your rabbits with? Because traditionally we are used to know that rabbits are fed with weeds, uprooted weeds, and vegetable waste from the kitchen after use.
So my rabbits feed on rabbit pellets. A drip clean water must be present in that cage, in that hatch. We also feed with succulent raffities. We also feed with hay. But as per now, because of the high cost of the hay, we are feeding them on green leaves and green vegetables. But normally, we feed them using hay. And hay is good because hay has high fiber content, and a rabbit needs high fiber content.
You have said that your pellets are fed with pellets. As in the current Kenyan economy, agricultural economy, we have seen that the cost of feeds, it is so expensive. Has the cost of the feeds, has it affected the cost of pellets for your rabbits?
Yeah, the cost of feeds have greatly affected me, because not many farmers have ventured into rabbit farming. So the various companies that manufacture these feeds, they are very minimal. So to get these rabbit feeds, you have to go an extra mile and you have to dig deeper in your pocket to get this commodity, because not many farmers are using it as per now. So if many farmers would venture into it, I bet that the rabbit feeds will go down.
As you can see, you have some of the kids. How do you manage breeding to avoid the inbreeding of the rabbits?
So first and foremost, you have to know that a female rabbit is called a doe, a male rabbit is called a buck, and a young rabbit is called a kid. So when a certain buck meets a certain doe, and the doe gets pregnant, and after 1 month the rabbit kiddos, so that buck cannot mate again the kids of that doe. That is the first way of avoiding inbreeding. The second way of avoiding inbreeding is whereby the kids that were born, you cannot rate them because they have mixed genders. We have the males and we have the females. You cannot let those males mate the females, that to avoid inbreeding, because they are brothers and sisters. You have to introduce another buck from another either another farm or from another mother to come and mate with those does.
As we know that rabbit is also an animal like others, it requires a male. When do you realize that a female rabbit needs a buck?
The female rabbit kicks against the wall of the hutch. That is one point. And the second point that I have noted, that the female rabbit peeps to the rabbit on the next hutch. That is the time you realize that the rabbit must be, or in most cases, it must be on heat. Yeah. And after meeting of the doe and the buck, the gestation period of the rabbit is 29 to 31 days. And after the 29 to 31 days, that is where we get the kids. And before it gives birth, during the 26th day, I introduce my nest box to the rabbit, so that during the 28th day, when the rabbit plucks off the hair from its body, it keeps it in the nesting box so that it can give birth in there. The rabbit can get to from 5 up to 10 kids per one rabbit in one gestation period.
As you can see, you have accumulated some of the waste products from the rabbits. Can you explain to us where you take your waste products?
So the waste products from this rabbit structure mainly is the manure and the rabbit urine. For example, with me here, I have some rabbit urine. This rabbit urine must be kept for at least 2 weeks for it to ferment. And I use it to grow my vegetables as an insecticide and as a foliar to my vegetables. And I also sell it commercially in litters form. And for my manure, I grow fodder. For example, Lucerne, the one you can see here. This Lucerne is grown using the rabbit manure from these rabbits. And when I take it to the farm, I use it as manure, and therefore I get Lucerne to bring it to the rabbits. Yeah.
As we can see that you have some different rabbits with different colors, and I come to realize that they are different breeds. Can you tell us more about the breeds that you have in your farm?
So in my farm, for example, this one is the Angora rabbit. Its body, it's very hairy, as you can see, and it is very long in size. So the second one, this is the chinchilla. This is a chinchilla buck, but it's not yet grown to mating size, so I have to wait. The third one, I have the brown Dutch. This one, this is the brown Dutch. The fourth one, I have the Kenya white, black nose, black ears, black tail, and black legs. That's the characteristics of the Kenya white. I have the New Zealand white, erect ears and pink eyes, as you can see. And this is the chinchilla pure breed.
What are the major common diseases that affect the rabbits that you can talk more about it to the farmers?
Okay, for the common diseases, I've seen minges. Minges are there in the rabbit production. The second disease, I've seen the ear canker. The ear canker disease heavily affects the rabbits in the ears, and the ear canker affects the rabbits in inside these ears. You find that there are solid like objects inside these ears. Those are the two common diseases that I can say I've witnessed.
What are some of the precautions that you take to control some of the major diseases that affect the rabbits in your farm?
The first one, I have introduced a football in my farm to prevent any farmer or any visitor to get in with pathogens. The second one I talked about it is about hygiene. As I said, hygiene is very paramount. Therefore, these hatches must be clean, and they must be clean regularly to prevent an introduction of diseases. So for the fourth one, it's about overcrowding of rabbits. They must be stocked according to the hatch size. The fourth one is the deworming. Rabbit deworming is very important, and there are various drugs that are used for rabbit deworming. Those are the measures that I can advise the farmers to use.
There are some of the farmers who are watching this interview today, and they're asking do you train farmers when they come to visit your farm?
Okay, when farmers visit my farm, I train farmers, and I train farmers either in groups or in the personal level. Various farmers have come to this farm, I've trained them. They have seen me doing what I'm training them. So I train farmers at a certain cost. Obviously, there must be a cost that is charged for the training session. The training session can be based on half a day or even 2 days. There are farmers who come here for 2 days for training, and I train them all that it takes to rear a rabbit.
During the rabbit rearing, I know there's a certain age that reaches that the rabbits have to be sold out. Where is your market availability?
The first and the foremost, during a certain age of rabbits have to be culled. The non-productive rabbits, the rabbits with the poor growth rate, they have to be culled. Therefore, they have to be sold out for meat specifically. So the first market of the rabbit products is the people living around the farm. The people living around the farm, you have to sensitize them to get to know the importance of this rabbit meat. As you can know, the rabbit meat have very high percentage of the protein, and rabbits are a source of white meat. So you have to sell this meat. So I sell it to the people living around the farm, and also there are various people who come to the farm. I sell to them the rabbit meat. Also, I have some tenders to supply here and there the rabbit meat. So market is not a major problem. What farmers fear is venturing and taking a risk. As an entrepreneur, you must take risk. In everything, you must take risk. So you have to take risk and be there to await.
In our country, we are seeing that many of the young people are complaining that there is no job opportunity. What can you advise them? Because they are giving up with life so fast. What can you tell them? Give them a last word.
My advice to the young people is that we cannot all fit the white collar jobs. Even though we are learned, we cannot all fit there. So some have to be here to support the people doing the white collar jobs. That's why I've ventured into this, and one have to look for an option other than the white collar jobs. And instead of losing up on life, you have to work hard and think big and look for other opportunities other than those offered. Remember the quote that says, great people are not born great, they make themselves great. So in that term, I ask the young farmers or the young people to venture into agribusiness.
Today, I'm so impressed that young people are taking risks. They are engaging themselves in agribusinesses that are making a profit for them. And niko motivated to this that I can go and start a rabbit farming. I will venture into rabbit farming in my own farm. Thank you for watching today's episode. I know you have learned a lot about rabbit farming, and if you have any burning question, you can ask it on the comment section below, and I'll have time to answer it. And remember to enjoy the show, remember to share, to like, and to subscribe. Let's meet in the next episode. Bye bye.